everyone, ockpii here, and on this video I'll be talking to you a bit about Starbound, what we know of it as of yet, and I'll also be discussing some images with you guys. This video is kind of a long one, yes, I'm sorry, but it's just because I'm taking all the images that I could get my hands on. I didn't do it as they were showing up, so that's why it's kind of a long one, but sit back, enjoy. Basically, what Starbound is, it's an indie game being developed by Chucklefish, which is a group of coders and spriters with which Ty is working, TIY from Terraria, and a lot of people have been comparing it to Terraria because it looks very similar, because it still uses tiles on the ground and stuff like that. It is a sandbox, much as Terraria, but it has a story, unlike Terraria. It says on the website that Starbound begins with you fleeing your homeworld in a space shuttle just as it's destroyed by an unknown enemy. So basically, you're escaping from an attack to your homeworld, and an escape pod is launched from your ship, which lands on an abandoned space station. And the space station is basically where the adventure takes place in Starbound, because in there you'll have all your equipment, your crew, you'll be able to conduct researches and examine certain species, both plant species and animal species. You'll be able to make a mech factory, you'll be able to examine enemies that you can capture, and a whole bunch of stuff. And throughout Starbound, you'll be exploring new planets, you'll be doing a whole bunch of space travel, you'll be examining new plant species, as I've mentioned, and animal species. And the way it works is that the way the planets are generated, there's a whole universe that is generated from the get-go, is that no two planets are alike. And that doesn't mean just, oh, this one is slightly elliptical and this one is slightly square. No, the whole weather, the whole gravity, and even the whole danger level of the planet, it goes from 1 to 100, I believe. And as you progress through the game, the NPCs will give you quests that require you to go to planets with higher danger levels. And the way you examine stuff in Starbound is pretty simple, just like any point-and-click adventure game. You just right-click on it or click on it, and it shows a quick summary of the plant, the animal, whatever you're examining. And throughout your space travels, once you find a planet you like, you can turn it into your homeworld. You can claim it as your home. Once you do that, you can change its weather by building a weather machine. You can start populating it with your NPCs, and something that's very similar to Terraria, you can terraform it, meaning that if you don't like a certain area of it, you can just chop down this tree, make this area flatter, or something like that. Also, unlike Terraria, the planets on this game are circular. If you know your Terraria, you'll know that once you go to the edge of the map, that's it, the world is over, and you can't go anywhere from that point on. Well, the way it works on Starbound is that if you keep going right and just right, you'll end up hitting the starting point of your world, so they loop each other, which is really cool. I really like that idea. Also, throughout your space travels, you'll meet a whole new bunch of characters which will then populate your homeworld, and they have all sorts of desires, quests for you that they will ask you to do. So they will give you your missions and side quests, so to speak. Now I'm going to show you a few images of the game that they've released and go through you a bit of the details that they have. So this first one is the space station, or the lab. As you can see, you have a bunch of potions on the wall. I don't know if you'll actually be able to use them for something. If it's like a crafting spot like Terraria, you have a bunch of NPCs there. They're all wearing white coats. Don't know if they're all interactable, but it'd be pretty cool if they were. They have blackboard with markings, X-rays. They have a giant blue screen, which I have no idea what that does, but it kinda seems that that blue thing was added after the image was taken, because you can see some shadows on the screen, and I don't know. And you can see the playable character, supposedly, which is this weird cowboy-looking guy with some sort of weldering mask. I don't know. Well, moving on to the next one. This next image shows a spaceship which says "Death from above," and it shows a whole bunch of characters. I'm not sure if any one of them is playable. Maybe they all are, for all we know. It looks like they're sort of taking over the ship, the dudes with the weapons, because you see there the soldier with the red gun, he's pointing at the girl with the green gun, and she's sort of either shooting upwards or surrendering, so I don't know. Next image, this is another spaceship. This may be a cutscene because it looks a lot like this lighting, the whole gloom above the ship. It looks like it's just meant to be for a cutscene because I don't know if the game would actually render this in real time. This next image has a whole bunch of penguins everywhere. It's got amazing northern lights in the background and a bit of a constellation there, which I don't know what it is. You can see the tiles here, the way the ground works, just like in Terraria. Underwater you have a bunch of fishes and you have this weird jellyfish, and you have plants like you have the corals in Terraria. And you see a dude over there with sort of a weird spacesuit, and he seems to be guarding a chest. I don't know if that's part of a side quest or something like that, if you have to do anything that an NPC told you to do. But yeah, you see again that you have the weird cowboy, which goes by the name of Furious George. And if you take a closer look at the HUD and the part that it says his name, you see that it has the health bars and the energy bar. The above bar has a red portion which only has hearts, and the other bit, I think they're on the yellow part. I think there are shields, so maybe he has 3 defense points. So I don't know. And the green bar shows energy. That may be, they mentioned that there were certain items that we used that required energy, and they needed to be recharged and all that kind of stuff. And if we take a look at his hotbar, we see that he has a zapper on the left mouse click, so that must be what needs to be recharged. On the rest of his inventory or hotbar, we see a whole bunch of crazy stuff. The key on his right mouse, which must be to open that chest. Weird, don't know what that is. A Game Boy, a piece of wood, a bone, a syringe, a green syringe, a block, a bomb, 3 hearts, and 2 more syringes. Maybe there are potions, so just instead of drinking them, you just inject them. That's kind of weird. Moving on to the next image. This one is a ripped image, but I couldn't find the original image with the whole ground, so we'll just look at the background and the weird wooden bone there. But yeah, it's an example of a different planet. We came from a nice planet, and now we're on a desert planet with pyramids and the sun and clouds. It looks really cool. I love it a lot. The following image is an example of how the lighting works and how the digging works. This reminds me a lot of Terraria, but the background looks amazing. The way the trees overlap each other and all that. And if you take a closer look at the portions that the torch is lighting up, you'll see that there are little rays of shadow, so to speak, behind the 3 blocks that are in front of it. So the lighting seems to be really advanced for this game. So guess what? If you had a lag problem with the new lighting engine Terraria, you'll probably not like this game very much. You'll see on the top of the V image, you have you have a different hotbar. I'll be showing you 3 images that have 3 different hotbars. The previous one, this one, which has a horizontal hotbar instead of a vertical right part of the screen hotbar, and you have 2 different bars of energy. No yellow portion, just red and green. But if we step back a bit to the other image, you see that we're using Furious George, and he has a special hotbar and everything. So what this must mean is that this is a special character. It's like a hero, and he has certain stats. And this one is just a random generated character because, as you can see, he has no avatar, no name, and just random energy bars. And you can see on the top right, he has a backpack, which is his full-fledged inventory, I am assuming. Moving on. This image we see Furious George once again, except he's wearing this awesome looking outfit, which I have no idea what it is, but but it has the same sort of energy bar, so I don't know how that works. You see that the energy bar now is longer, which means it's like the heart crystals in Terraria. You can expand on your health, presumably. You can see you have an NPC, I'm assuming, over there with a yellow suit. Don't know what it is. The water in this game looks pretty cool, and you can see someone trying not to drown or something. Moving on. Awesome new planet. Tentacle planet, as it is called, I believe. You can see probably an NPC on green over there, wearing some sort of really cool hammer or axe or whatever it is. I read somewhere on the forums, which are now up, by the way, I read somewhere that you can kill enemies and take their weapons, so it's not just like you craft the weapons. No, you can also take them from enemies, which is pretty cool. You can see another character over there, which is shooting a pretty cool gun. He's wearing a hat and a scarf, quite the hipster. And there's some sort of egg in the middle. I don't know if it has eyes or if it just that's texture. I don't know. And there's sort of those weird fish in Finding Nemo, which have a flashlight or a light bulb. Yeah, they're also there. And moving on to this following image. This image is pretty cool. I love it. Not only does it have a cooler HUD, this is my favorite HUD of the three that I've shown you. It's very cool. It shows this little lamppost with the two little guys here, all little happy, pointing at the three little balls. It's also sunset, so it shows a bit of the day and night cycle. In this case, the sun is either rising or it's sunset. And I see a weird dude kind of doing a thumbs up on the bush. It's a weird creeper. You have 29 syringes, have a sweater, another sweater which looks like a spacesuit, and a space helmet. That weird thing again. 5 times 3 hearts maybe. And slimes, which maybe you picked up from examining and exploring. And a whole bunch of stuff. Moving on, the same image, only this time with the inventory. Looks amazing. You have the equipment there, you have the head, the chest, and the legs, which make up your suit. You have the 5 tech spots, which are probably the equivalent of Terraria accessories. And you have a bunch of storage spaces, you have 6 storage lines. Maybe they are your hotbar options, maybe you have multiple hotbars that you can use. This image is a desert one, and it shows a different sort of inventory management. You have the Furious George again. I'm starting to think Furious George is probably a person that is testing the game, but that's just me. You have the cool little bar again, with the 3 shield spots, desert planet, and a whole bunch of inventory space here. You have a bunch of backpacks, belts, and whatnot that may be upgrades to your inventory, like to make it better, or bigger, or something like that. And you can see on the place where you equip the helmet, the pants, and the chest plate, you can see that there are 2 more spots above those, so maybe there are vanity items or something like that. Because as you can see, he seems to have his helmet equipped, but he's got no helmet on the image. Next one is back at a tactical planet. You can see that we are now analyzing something, or the examining. This is basically what I was referring to earlier. You can click or right click or whatever it is, planets or animals, and a simple logbook will pop up and give you a small description. Eyes glittering, the crab-like creature skitters across the landscape. The bulbous sac its back pulsate dangerously. Pretty neat. Next up, I'm going to examine the gifts. First of all, you have a weird lizard here, which is pretty cool. It has weird feathers and all that. We have a happy lizard, which these are probably from a desert planet because deserts have lizards. Yeah. Next up we have a hoverbike with the player that Furious George was using, the weird cowboy. Then a mech, which as been stated, we will be able to ride these, which is awesome! It has a machine gun on the front of it, and I think I've seen an image somewhere of it like picking up an enemy, to take it to your base so that you can examine it and whatnot. Next up, you have a bunch of NPC examples. These are awesome. You have them sleeping and with a traditional bubble of snot when you're sleeping. The jumping animation looks incredibly fluid, which is really nice, and unlike the Terraria one. Moving on, we have a penguin walking back and forward. He's awesome. I don't know how he would do on tiles, walking like that, on like an inclination or something like that. But yeah. Next up, we have a bee. But yeah, that's it. Next, we have an image that, by the name, is pretty hilarious and it's pretty descriptive. It just says, and yeah, that's just it. Next one is Red Panda, which I don't know if this is actually an in-game thing or if they just did it for the forums, because the first thing you see when you see the rules of the forums is just this little dude, which I would call a raccoon and not a panda because the image says Red Panda. He is just saying no, 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 no. Okay. Next up is the Space Hobo. Nothing to see that. He has sort of a cardboard box on his head. Yeah. Now we have a weird The image is called WheelieBot. I don't know if this is something that assists us on our base, or if just an enemy for us to destroy, or something like that. Yep. Now we have TIY posted this on Twitter. I was pretty, wow, what the hell is this when I saw it? It's just Superman riding a pony. Hell yeah, that's thumbs up for epicness. No, and then he posted the real version. It's Furious George, or the cowboy, riding some sort of, I don't know what to call it. Awesome horse. I don't know what that is. But this shows us that we can pretty much ride animals, which is awesome. That's exactly what I thought when I saw the GIF of the unicorn from Terraria before 1.1 came out. I was like, we're going to be able to ride unicorns? That is awesome! But no. So apparently we'll be able to do that on this one. Next up we have an image which is pretty funny. It's probably from a cutscene or something like that. If so, the dialogue in this game seems to be taken care of by speech bubbles like that. Give me all your pixels! That's all what the slime is saying with a little handgun. Next up, and to close this off, we have the team that is working on this game. TIY and basically friends, because I don't know who you are, I'm sorry. But I trust that you are making an awesome game, and I can't wait for it. It's really an awesome project, and I can't wait to find out more about it. Yeah. If you guys want me to keep making videos about Starbound, to analyze images that keep popping out, or just make gameplay videos when it comes out, leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought about this video. It was kind of a long one, yeah, but because I was analyzing pretty much every image that I could get my hands on, so that's why it was pretty long. I didn't do as they were showing up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Favorite it if you liked it that much. Subscribe, please. This helps me out a lot and makes me know that you guys liked my content. If so, I'll meet you on my next video. Take care, guys. Bye!